Garbage collection is critical services for any city, but in Harare, the system is not working to the residents' expectations. The lack of adequate garbage collection is taking a toll on the city's environment and its residents. Illegal dumping is on the rise, and with it, the risk of flooding and diseases. Climate 21st visited some of the residents in different locations, and this is what they had to say.
Well, I think of many factors. There is laziness, carelessness from our local authorities. That is, they are lacking that capacity to collect the litter from the government offices, the houses, anywhere that people are. And also there's also another issue of how the products are being packed. Because if you take a look around here, there are a lot of plastics, and you are saying these plastics cannot be degraded easily. They take years to be degraded. So it means how products are being packed is another issue that is lacking here in Harare. I'll just take an example of Harare because there are lots of litter here. And then also another issue is on fining. People are not being fined enough. If somebody is seen just throwing a litter out there, a bottle or anything, the local authorities will just take it as something that is normal. Yet we are saying we want to tackle climate change. We want to fight against environmental protection. So I blame our local authorities, and also us as the general public. We need to be responsible. It's everyone's responsibility to make sure that the litter is not being thrown out there in the public or anywhere that is not permissible by the local authorities. So I think these are just a few points that I think are according to the leader that is around.
All right. Inini ndikuona kuti munzvimbo yatakagara muno chiri kukonzeresa kuti marara azounganidzwa panzvimbo 1. Ndikuona kunge zvakati wandei zviri kukonzeresa, but chinhu chikuru chiri kuitisa kuti zvidaro inyaya yekuti kudhara taiziva kuti marara aifamba achikolektwa necity council, but as it is izvezvi hapana mota dzecouncil dziri kufamba dzichikorekta marara. Saka vanhu nekuti havachaziva kuti marara acho vaisa kupi, vakungotsvaga chero pavanoona kuti regai tingoisa marara, vobva vangodhamba marara avo ipapo. Mazuva anaya kare kwaishandiswa manapkin, vanhu vaiwacha manapkin, but izvezvi nenyaya yekuchinjawo kweupenyu kwane mapampers. Mapampa aya kaya, madiapers, madisposable nappies aya ari kungodhambwa pese pese nenyaya yekuti vanhu vaingoziva kuti vanongoisa mbini otakurwa necity council oenda. Saka nekuti izvezvi hakuna collection yemarara, vanhu vakungoti pavari kurasira marara iwayo vobva vangorasawo futi mapampers iwayo, madisposable nappies. But madisposable nappies aita problem yekuti paari kuiswa pamarara ipapo pari kuraswa apa haapisiki kana mukapisa, ende haasi ekuti munoti pamwe zvichaora like zvanasadza nemasupu nini, hazviore hazvitsvi. Saka tikuita problem yekuti hatichaziva kuti zviri kuitika kunyange munyika yatakurarama izvezvi. Tiri kuona kutoti tine maseasons edu achinja, maweather conditions acho achinja. Tiri kutaura kuti ezvinozvi tikati madisposable nappies aya anenge asara paasara, vanhu pavanouya vachipisa akatota ane tsvina, handiti vanhu pavari kupisa paipai mamwe marara ari kutsva, mhepo iya hutsu huya hatisi kuziva kuti tiri kubreatha in mhepo yakaita sei, hutsu hwakaita sei, vana vakungorwara, hatisi kuziva zviri kukonzereswa neizvozvo futi here. And then tiri kuti mhepo iyoyo hutsi ihwohwo zvauri kuenda mudenga uri kukonzeresawo chii as far as the weather conditions are concerned.
Firstly, I will blame us, the citizens. Hatisi kukoshesa our environment. Tiri kungokanda mapepa pese pese, and even if tikatoona munhu achikanda bepa tinotomusiya achitokanda. But if we look at amwe countries, vakatoona munhu achikanda bepa vanomumisa votomupa bepa rake kana tomuti inonga bepa rako. But munomu chero uri mukombi unokwanisa kukanda makande mabanana pese whatever chichichichi.
Saka tikutaura utano hwedu ipapo. Saka zvinhu zviri kutotishungurudza sevanhu vari kugara munharaunda kuti marara anenge achingoungana, ende tozoonawo takutarisana nezvinhu zvakaita saizvozvo. Tozoitawo issue yekuti sange isusu patigere panapa muno muHighfield tine mabhoho like patiri kuti panapa padamsaita pane marara handiti. Tiri kutaura kuti pane mapampazi iwayo asingatsve asingaore. then close to marara iwayo padam site ipapo tine bhoho yemvura yatinomwa ende bhoho yaisi kusevha one household iri kusevha a community. Tiri kutaura kuti there is messengers camp iri kusevhwa nebhoho iro, there is maflats, there is mastands. Saka tiri kutaura kuti this is a whole community iri kusevhwa nebhoho iyoyo, but tiri kutaura kuti bhoho iri padhuze nedam site. Mvura pairi kunaya paya tinoziva kuti mvura ikanaya inodzika pasi. Hatichaziva kuti tsvina dziya dzemadisposable nepisi padziri kudzika pasi mvura dzacho dziri kuyerera dzichienda kopi, and yet tiri kutaura kuti ndo patiri kuwana isusu mvura yedu yekumwa yatiri kutaura ndo mvura yatiri kutemba kuti yakachena. Tiri kutaura kuti mvura yacho iyoyo pamwe iri kutoafectwa futi nemarara ari padhuze nebhoho iyoyo. Saka zvinhu zviri kutotinetsa kuti saka zvogadziriswa sei izvozvo.
Sezvamuri kungoona panapa hatisisina pekurasira marara nemabhini havachatore marara, takungoyazoisa marara panapa topisa, amwe marara acho haatotsvi. Saka tatova neproblem yekuti panobuda makonye nezvakasiyana siyana, and pano tine vana. Saka vana pavanouya vachitambira kuno zvatova zvirwere zvimwe zvakutapudzirika. Saka tinoda rubatsiro rwakanyanya vekutakura mabhini dai vauya vatibatsira vachitakurirawo mabhini, because it has now become a health hazard. Hatisina kumira mushe tiona zvakadai so.
As we heard from the residents, the challenges that they are facing, they also have the solutions they think might help. Let's hear from them.
Well, right now we are in the year of climate change, and we are saying climate change is everyone's responsibility. So if somebody is there, they think that someone will come to their houses or will come into their where they live like this to collect this, they are mistaken. It's everyone's responsibility. As the general public, we need to ensure that our environment is well cleaned up, our environment is well taken care of, because the change starts with me, the change starts with you. So if I'm not doing anything to change the environment that I'm living in, nobody will come and change it for me. So it's the general public's responsibility to make sure that the environment is well taken care of in terms of litter.
Inini hangu kuona kwangu ndiri kuona sekuti problem yedu inogona kuita maways akati siyana ekuigadzirisa. Togona kuita short term plan ne long term plan. Tiri kuti ma short term plan aya council kana isiri kukwanisa kutakura marara zvavaingoita mazuva ese, ngavachivawo nemaprovisions ekuti alright tokupaiwo zvimabhini zvemasimbi zviya zvakakura zviya, voti pavari kuona pari kuitwa madump sites vouya vachigadzika zvimabhini izvozvo, vanhu voisa marara imomo, then zvasiyana nekutakura bhini every week kana kuti matakura avaisimboita, but pachinozozarawo pamwe vanenge vawanawo nguva yekurongawo kuti tochizonotakura zvimabhini zviya zvaita sei zvazara, zvasiyana nekuuya vachitakura every other time, zvatosiyana. Then tiri kutaurawo kuti ma long term plan, tiri kuti isusu ngavachionawo kuti nomuraramiro watiri kuita zvinhu zviri kuchinja. Tiri kutaura kuti kune madisposable nepisi, hatigone isusu kutaura nhasi kuti vanhu musashandise madisposable nepisi, ndowa upenyu hwariko, but tiri kuti isusu ngavachitsvaga ivo sevanhu vakuru, sevanotichengeta, vanochengeta nyika nesu vanhu, ngavachitsvaga nzira dzekuti manepizi iwayo sezvo ari zvinhu zvekuti hazviore hazvitsve, ngavachitsvagawo nzira dzekutakura nadzo madisposable nepizi vodisposa ivo ikoko. Then tine issue yekuti marara acho kudzidza vana vari kutozvidzidza kuchikoro, nesuwo vanhu vakuru totozviziva kuti marara anosiyana, pane anotsva, pane asingatsvi, pane mapepa, pane zvigubhu, pane plastic, pane pepa. Ngavachiprovidawo mumacommunities mabhini iwayo voyaisawo pacentral position yavanoziva ine community kuti veduwe tauya nemabhini, tiri kuda kuti pamunodisposa marara enyu apa ndo panoiswa mapepa, apa ndo panoiswa maplastic, so that tiri kusevha isusu utano hwedu vanhu neenvironment yedu irambe yakachena, nekuti zviri kuaffecta both sides, environment yedu neutano hwedu.
The authority can do a lot. First of all, we can say, as I said earlier, I mentioned the packaging of products. We need to take a look on how the products are being packaged, considering the environmental aspect, that whatever we do in order to pack our products, are they being environmental friendly, or we are just packing the goods for the sake of packing the goods. The litter causes emits carbon dioxide into the atmosphere that is also affecting the ozone layer. So it means the authority, if it's not regulating how the products are being packed, and also the fines, if somebody is seen throwing the litter out there. There should be some fine that, okay, if it's $100, $100 US, let's be it, and they need to abide to that. Not like they say, okay, the environmental management agents is now fining people who are littering out there $20, and then after that they don't act on that. There's need to regulate and also to act on the policies that are there. So it's the duty of the local authorities to make sure that if the policies are there, are being put in place, are they acting according to those policies or not? And also another issue is on collecting the refuse. They need to make sure that the refuse is being collected, be it weekly, be it after 2 days, or be it bi-weekly, we can say. They have to make sure that the litter is being collected. So I think if that is being done from the local perspective, and also even the bins out there in town, here in avenues, how many bins did you find? You don't find our bins anywhere in the streets. So it's something that the local authorities can also do, to put bins out there, the big bins, such that people, whenever they want to throw something, they can say, okay, there's a bin, we'll do, this is our responsibility. It's now their responsibility to put the litter in the bins.
We managed to do an interview with one of the authorities, and this is what they had to say.
My name is Don Sakupwanya. I work for the city of Harare as a cleansing superintendent, and I cover Mbare, the CBD, and the northern suburbs, which are mainly the low density areas.
I have some questions from people. First question would be like, this has been the longest period that some areas such as Chisibiti, Mbare, Highfield, and more has been without refuse collection, and it seems that the situation is getting worse as we move around. What have been the new challenges that the city of Harare is facing?
Yes, thank you. True that in some areas refuse collection has not been consistent. The city is facing challenges in fleet availability. We have got a low number of refuse compactors that are available to carry out door-to-door collections in various residential areas. So what the city has now decided to do is that we are collecting waste from households once in 2 weeks, but the norm is that we should be coming weekly to the various residential areas and collecting waste from the doorsteps. So due to the low fleet availability, as I mentioned earlier, we have had to review, and now we're collecting once in 2 weeks. So I think this has compounded most of the problems, where we're now seeing dumps surfacing in most residential areas, even in the low density areas. Yeah, but I think let me just hasten to say that the dumping is due to our frequency that has been that we have changed, but also it's also bad waste management practices by the residents. Most of the waste that is being dumped, it's organic waste that can be put into compost, and most of it is also recyclable waste. So we're appealing to residents not to dump their waste, to separate their waste. Organic material from the kitchens and stuff can be put in compost at their houses, and then the recyclable material can be put aside and dropped off at the nearest waste drop-off center.
Do you have any solutions about the refuse collection? You said Mugutora for about 2 weeks. Do you have any solutions in the future?
Yes, as a city, what we are doing, we're working with, I think it's a three-pronged solution. Firstly, we're carrying out a vehicle repair plan, an emergency vehicle repair plan, where we're trying to resuscitate our fleet and make sure that our fleet numbers get back to 30, and where we can carry out weekly door-to-door collections. Our second approach is that we are procuring refuse compactors. We're getting funds, devolution funds from the central government, where we'll be procuring 10 refuse compactors this year. Last year we took delivery of 5, so this year we'll be getting 10 new compactors. So that should also help us in getting our frequency back to the normal weekly. And lastly, we are also developing what is called an integrated solid waste management plan, where we are basically talking about reducing waste that needs to be collected, talking about separating waste at source, the composting, as I said, and engaging the recyclers. So I think with these three action items put together, we'll be able to improve our waste management in the city of Harare.
Okay. Are you in communication with the citizens or with the public about the timetable of collection?
Yes, we do communicate with the residents, but however, the residents feel that we should change them. Our communication model that was done by our corporate communication section is that we flight our schedules on our City of Harare Facebook page every Saturday for the upcoming week. but quite a number of residents say that they are not on Facebook, but that is where the media that we use. We also use WhatsApp groups to share the refuse collection schedules on a weekly basis.
Okay. Will replacing all plastic packaging with their biodegradable substitutes solve the problem of garbage?
Yes, I will not say that it will solve it 100%, but as I said, it will reduce waste, because I think plastics constitute about 12% of a household bin. This is statistics taken from our previous waste characterization studies. So if we remove the plastics from our bin, we'll have solved about 12% of our problem. So we will not have solved it in its entirety, but we'll have at least reduced environmental pollution caused by plastics.
Okay, any message to the public that you want to say?
Yes, thank you. I think we'd like to appeal to the residents of Harare. Yes, the city is facing challenges. I think together, if we pull our efforts together, if the residents can desist from disposing their waste at illegal points, they should just hang on to their bin. Or as I said, our trucks will be coming once in 2 weeks until we get back to our feet. So if we appeal to the residents that they should stop dumping their waste haphazardly at the road verges and open spaces. Secondly, we'd also like to appeal to residents to start separating their waste at source. Yes, we are going to come out with awareness campaigns informing residents once they've separated where they should put their waste. Are the recycling companies coming? Where can they drop off their recyclable waste? So we're appealing to residents to start separating their waste at source. This will greatly reduce the amount of waste that needs to be transported to Pomona, and I think it will solve our problems by at least 50%.
See you on the next program, where we tackle issues to do with climate change in Zimbabwe. Thank you.